Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap you on the final games of the regular season for both the Ferris State men's and women's basketball squads, along with Bulldog hockey as all three teams get set for postseason play. And we'll start first with men's basketball and joined by head coach Andy Bronkema. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Robert.
Before we get into talking about basketball, you were there as we had a chance to honor head coach Bob Daniels on Saturday night, and obviously a great career for him.
Yeah, amazing career. So we got back from our road trip, caught the last 10 minutes of the third period, and it was an exciting third period. And then overtime was a little delay game. I haven't seen that before. But then the shootout was very exciting, and just a chance to get together and honor Coach, another opportunity. But for me, coming in as a volunteer and then a young coach, you got a veteran, very, very accomplished coach, tons of awards, accolades, wins, experience. And for him to, become a friend, he didn't need to do that, and he's done that with a lot of people, and that's a similar story for a lot of people. So really admire him, his longevity, his consistency, and then all the success he's had. So I wish him the best, and I'm excited for him, and he deserves this whole farewell tour because he's an outstanding man, and he's a good friend. So Coach Daniels, happy retirement, my man.
Well said. And as we turn it back to basketball, obviously an important 2 games for your team on the road this past weekend, closing out the regular season, and now you gear up here for the GLIAC tournament.
Yep, went on the road, got the split, shooting for the sweep, and we weren't able to do it, but I thought we played pretty hard. And teams are playing their best basketball at the end of the year because they know a lot about themselves, and they're making the push for the playoffs, and a lot of teams are doing that. So that's why March Madness is so fun for everybody, and we gave it what we had on the road, got the split, and I'm pretty comfortable where we're at going into the playoffs. I think we've ironed out a lot of things through the middle of this season, and I like how we're playing, and I like our attitude.
As we go to the highlights, we'll start first on Thursday night at Wayne State and taking on the Warriors here for the second time this season, and a team that's played some good basketball over the course of the year.
Yeah, they got on the glass, as you can see there with that highlight. Sometimes the ball bounces to funny spots. Other times, you fail to be physical. But really, Wayne made big shots in this game, and we battled. We were there, a little lead at halftime with 5 minutes left or so. I think it was 4 or 5 minutes left. The game's tied, so we were right there. And then they hit a couple big shots, and that was kind of the difference in the game. So, we got another opportunity to compete against them in the playoffs coming up here. But this game was a hard-fought game.
As we tape this show, obviously the GLIAC tournament starts on Wednesday night this week, and get a rematch. You didn't know it at the time, but you get another crack here at Wayne State coming up.
Yeah, and you can't control who you're going to play in the tournament, so you just take whoever you get. But I guess for both teams, it'll be a pretty easy scout since we just went over it a few days ago.
Playing here in Detroit, what's it like playing here? You got so many former alums and former players that come back and watch this game.
Yeah, honestly, I wish the Warriors would get a few more fans because they got a good team. And I saw the Lake State game against them too, and there's more Ferris and Lake State fans there. But this is a great team for them to cheer for, and it's a pretty cool arena. And there's a lot of positive things for the Warrior fans to watch. So. But we do have a long history of alum there, and it was bittersweet, obviously, after a loss, but it doesn't change the relationships and the love you have for the people that you see after the game, and it was pretty good.
Obviously, they hit some big shots kind of down the stretch and able to come away with the win.
Yeah, that was the difference. Maybe a little bit on the glass, and they're a little quicker to the ball sometimes. Maybe that's effort. Maybe it's just unfortunate, but they hit big shots, and they deserve to win that game. They beat us.
Obviously, you guys didn't have a whole lot of time. You turned back around on Saturday, going back on the road to Saginaw Valley, and got to love the way your team kind of responded on Saturday.
Yeah, you get back up and you go at it again, and our team's been able to do that all year, win or lose, and for the most part, there's been a couple bad practices, but for the most part, we're doing it in practice too, which is what I love to see, because that's where I think you really get better all year long. And this was a senior day, and this was, Saginaw wins, and they're in the tournament, so they're fighting for a lot. And we jumped on them early, which I think helped. And they made a little run before half, but we came out of halftime and pushed it back up and closed this thing out.
It's one of those games where it seemed like anyone you put in the game came out, really played well, and gave it a great effort.
Yeah, you can't measure the game all the time if you're scoring or if you're looking good. It's the effort. It's the effort that translates into everything else. So, and sometimes you give a great effort and fail, and you got to be mentally strong to sign up and do it again. So, love this play here by Kel, getting him in that area and him making a strong move. That's a tough angle for the bank there, Robert. But Schroeder was pretty good defense and banks it in from the corner. I thought we got off to a quick start. Ethan hit a bunch of threes. Nate had his touch going inside. We had some good interior passing. There you see one right there. And, like you said, a lot of guys just played with high-level effort.
After they had cut it to 7, you guys came out early in the second half, really took control of the game again, and really put this one away.
Yeah, we just kept the hammer down. And, but like plays like that, not necessarily like the one-footed finish, but, when Kel's on balance, and there was an element of balance there with one leg, he's got great touch. This guy's here's a second effort play with Dan getting some shot pressure. That shot goes in, but you still see the second effort plays. Reese walling up there and taking it in the gut and keeling over, but you got to be willing to take those shots. And Nate's running the floor fast. There's a lot of good things in this game, and it was a good way to end the regular season.
Obviously, you build some momentum going into the postseason. GLIAC tournament, though, a new season, and obviously a tough challenge here with some great teams here in the conference making the tournament.
Yeah, I'd say, realistically, and it's March Madness, so anything can happen. We'll preface it with that, but Roosevelt in their first year, pretty impressive to make the tournament. But the 1 through 7 seeds are all good enough to win this thing. It'd take a little bit extra for Roosevelt at this point in time, just with their depth. Their high-level players are there, and their system's there. And man, they're going to be a force to reckon with in the future. But it's probably pretty tough to go up to Tech and make that run. But 1 through 7, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Obviously, a GLIAC tournament this week, and hopefully a chance to go back to the NCAA tournament next week here over spring break. And what would that mean to get back into the national tournament?
Well, that's an incredible accomplishment. Our full body of work, our strength of schedule, and the teams we play, the teams we beat, our strength of schedule, all that, is worthy. It is a regional tournament, so it's kind of hard. Sometimes there's some things you can't control as far as conference tournament winners or this or that. But that's uncommon. It's hard to do. It's just, we've been fortunate to be in the tournament for a few years, but it's not easy. So I would never take it for granted, and I think it's a huge accomplishment for any team that's able to do it. And once you get in that tournament, anything can happen, as you saw last year, where you guys put it together, got hot, and made it to the Elite Eight again, and that's a fun time of year. So we want to finish strong, take it a game at a time. But if we can get in that national tournament again, we got some experienced players, and we'll be a team that no one's really looking forward to playing. At the same time, it's pretty wide open.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. 24-7 overall, and best of luck here in postseason play.
I appreciate you, Robert. Thanks.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.